47 years old, and I come from the neighboring country of Panama, and I just finished a 5-day retreat at Life Ayahuasca, Costa Rica.
This is your second time at New Life. Why did you decide to come back?
I love it here. I actually feel really at home here, right down to the little Poco Kitty. It's very homey. It feels very comfortable and safe. It's clean. It's private. Privacy and safety were my number one thing I was looking for in a retreat center, and definitely have that here. And the food is great as well, and there's a swimming pool, and there's beautiful grounds, but mostly deep down it's the owners. The Matt and Janae are the most authentic people that I think I've come across in all my travels all over the world. And so the authenticity is and the safety and the comfort for me were the most important things.
Thank you. So before your first visit, what were some of the things that you were looking for in an ayahuasca retreat center?
Well, I had thought about ayahuasca, for years, as long as I, heard about it, but it was always just in the back of my mind, oh, that'll be something I'll do someday. But something happened this year. It's just, really kind of devastating personally, and I was in such a deep depression. I thought, okay, well, the time is now. Gonna do it. So I did all the research online. I just Googled different places all over the world, and for me, I've been to Costa Rica before. It's a really beautiful country, and not only is it beautiful, but it's very warm and pleasant and easy to travel in. So if people are afraid to travel out of the country, Costa Rica is a very easy country to travel in if you're an English speaker. And for me, Costa Rica is close to home. So, but it's not just that. It's not just a matter of convenience. Like I said before, I had talked to Matt and Janae on the phone and just felt really comfortable with them. And not just that, I had read their story on their website. If you're looking at their website, click on the link for staff and read their biographies, because it's fascinating. So once you get to know them on this personal level, all the things that they've accomplished, all the different hardships that they've overcome, and they weren't easy, So if you read their backstory and you see how successful they are in their lives, and I don't mean success in a matter of material things or things like that, but success in being happy and authentic and living a life that's meaningful and has purpose and that helps people. And I'm a yoga teacher, so that's what I aspire to be. Ultimately, I want to be able to serve others better. So I see people like Matt and Janae being able to do that after overcoming so many personal obstacles. It's so inspirational. It makes me want to cry, because I'm so proud of them, and I see that in them, and I know that, hey, I have that potential as well. And being here, I realize I fulfilled that potential, or on my way to it. So for me, it's just very, very healing in that regards, personally, professionally, relating to other people, interconnectedness. It's really a beautiful thing. It makes me have awe for this life.
So on your first visit, what were some of your first impressions when being picked up from the airport, getting up to the facility, getting into your room? What did you think about all of it?
That was first class all the way. That was first class all the way. I've been, like I said, I'm 47, and I started this spiritual quest, or this yogic quest, whatever, about 35 years ago. So over the course of 35 years, I've traveled all over the world, crazy places: India, Thailand, Europe, North America, South America, Central America. So really, some of those places were a little sketchy. And I'm grateful for them, because without being in some of those sketchy situations, I wouldn't appreciate how wonderful it is here. So yes, the convenience of being picked up at the airport, the ride up into the beautiful misty mountains of Costa Rica, even the ride coming here, or the flight coming here even, is so beautiful. And then being, driven up to the retreat center. The retreat center is private. There's no neighbors, or if there are, you don't see them, you don't hear them. So there's no neighbors, it's very private. The grounds are beautiful. To come into the retreat center, for me, to have my own private room, private bathroom, is a necessity. And I hope that doesn't make me seem like a diva, but really at this age, I feel I've lived, I think as you get older, comfort means a lot more to you, at least to me. So the comfort and the privacy of having my own room, my own bathroom, and also there's Wi-Fi here, so I try not to stay on social media too much while I'm here, but just to have Wi-Fi, to be able to Skype my mom and say, "Mom, I'm doing great." My mom's like, "Yay, I'm proud of you." So just things like that, if it means a lot to you to stay in touch with your family, the Wi-Fi is great. The food is great. There's a swimming pool. So yeah, it's first class all the way. Yeah, I'm very comfortable.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience with the ceremonies and what you feel like you gained out of the experience?
Wow, the ceremonies. Okay, so that's the real reason why we're here. All the comfort and privacy, those are great, and they definitely get you in a headspace so you feel ready for the ceremonies. This is my second retreat here. So my first retreat here was back in May, and now it's September. So back in May, the first two ceremonies that I did were so therapeutic and so wonderful. They were very, very deep. Parts of them were dark, but so therapeutic. That's why I'm back. So those were really, really intense. Really, and when I say intense, I mean that's a good thing, because we came here for a reason. So let's do it. And those were healing on so many levels, with my family, with me healing past traumas in my life, physical trauma, sexual trauma, emotional abuse, all these things in the past that I had kind of buried, and just kind of buried, put them aside. So those first two ceremonies really made me face those things, which isn't easy, but on the other side of facing those, it was complete healing and complete peace and acceptance. And so the second time, now that I'm here for a second time, I did 2 more ceremonies. So coming into those, I was kind of like, oh, am I going to have to face all that stuff again? All that dark stuff again? And it wasn't there. Like, it seems like that is gone. It's healed. It's still there in my memory, but it's healed. There's peace, there's acceptance. And it's almost like the ayahuasca, the medicine, was saying, okay, that's done. It's time to move on, Laura. It's time to move on. So these past 2 ceremonies over the last couple days were just fun. I mean, they were lighthearted. They were definitely intense. I still had the visuals and really just enjoyed Matt's gong playing and his guitar playing and this guttural singing that he does. And then Janae is like this beautiful creature who just takes care of you. She's on the edge. She's very you don't really see her or hear her, but if she senses you need something, she'll be right on it. Like, she comes to you, and she has this intuitive nature that's very caregiving. It's very sweet and nurturing. So these past 2 ceremonies were just light and free and just really beautiful. It made me feel so grateful to be alive. So 6 months ago, I was in such a deep, dark depression that there's no way I thought I could ever feel this gratitude for life like I feel right now. So for me, that's the biggest gift. And I've been all over the world seeking this type of feeling. And this is the first place I found it. So that's why for sure I'll be coming back. I see the ayahuasca as a medicine that you don't just do once and say, okay, that's it. For me personally, I would like to come back like once a year just to do a top off, like a maintenance sort of therapy. And that's what it is. It's therapy. It's therapeutic. It's beautiful. Yeah.
So you touched a little bit on how the ceremonies were different for you in your first retreat versus the second retreat. What do you feel like are the biggest differences of what you're walking away from this experience with now versus when you were here before?
What I'm walking away with from now is, I guess after the first 2 ceremonies a few months ago, I was just so overwhelmed with what I had gone through, all the stuff that had come up, that needed to come up for sure. I was a bit overwhelmed, but in a good way. It's stuff that had to come up. But now, after these past 2 ceremonies, there's such a feeling of acceptance, and I feel like I'm more confident. I guess that's the biggest thing, is I'm more confident in that this healing can be long lasting. If it's something that I remember and carry with me, that it doesn't always have to be so scary. Like now I feel just a lot more confident. I feel more brave, I feel not only just brave and strong, but I feel more open and more, what's the word, just porous in a way. I know that sounds weird. I feel porous, not just in my skin, but I feel my personality has become a little less hard. I feel more porous and open to interconnectedness to others, whether that's family members I haven't spoken to in years, or meeting beautiful people like Matt and Janae, I feel are truly my friends now. So yeah, I just feel more confident. I feel more free, more open, and more of a gentle person. I feel more empathy towards others, which I believe makes me a better yoga teacher. So yeah, it's all good in all aspects of life, personal, professional, everything.
So what kind of advice would you give to others that are, online researching different ayahuasca retreat centers and don't really know which direction they should go in?
Advice for others I would give is to really do your research. Really do your research. There's unfortunately, and this I've seen this in the yoga world or in any alternative medicine or alternative therapy or yoga especially, including one of my former teachers, is there's a lot of charlatans out there. And I don't mean to say that disparagingly, but just go in with your eyes open. Do a lot of research. Find out who's making the medicine. Find out who's administering it. Try to find out a little bit about their past and what their story is. Don't just blindly trust anyone that says, hey, I'm this guru, or I'm this, whatever. Be very, very wary of people on pedestals. And I can say that both as a student of someone who's been on a pedestal that's crashed down, and I can also say that as someone who's a teacher, and I don't like it when people put me on pedestals. So all I can say is really do your research of who is in charge ultimately. And for Matt and Janae, the authenticity is there. I met so many people, so many beautiful people, and also some real charlatans and real people that are in it for the wrong reasons. And, you know, that's human nature. It happens. We can't be bitter about that. But all I can say is take your time researching it. And I hope that you find that New Life Ayahuasca is just as amazing for you as it has been for me. And I'm sure when you see how authentic and how genuine Matt and Janae are, and like I said, read their staff biography and you'll be amazed at what they've been through. And I see that too as myself as a yoga teacher. I think the things that I've been through, the traumas and stuff, make me a better yoga teacher. So I feel if I had just had this privileged life of nothing but sunshine and rainbows, I don't really think I'd know what I'm talking about when I try to help others in their journey to wellness. So for those of us who have had our personal battles and overcome them, I think we're actually in a better place to help others. So with Matt and Janae, they definitely have that. Definitely be wary of people who say, hey, I've got my shit together, I know everything. Those are the ones you need to beware of. So, and the humbleness of Matt and Janae and their honesty of sharing their past with you, it means for me, I feel they're trustworthy. And that's what it is. If you're going to do something as massive as this, taking ayahuasca, and it is massive, it is a very, very important thing. It's one of the most important things you can do. You need to be able to trust the people that are administering it to you, because they are administering it to you. They take care of you, but you need to be able to trust, because when you're in that space of the ceremony, you're 100% vulnerable, and which is great, because so many times we walk through life with defenses up, our armors, including myself, so much armor. When you're in ayahuasca, the armor's gone. You know, you're completely vulnerable. However, you want to still be safe. And that's where Matt and Janae, they're just kind of there on the side, watching over you, making sure you're taken care of. So, yeah, so much gratitude.
Thank you so much, Laura, for sharing, your experience here, being so open and honest, and we really appreciate it, and we really look forward to having you back again, hopefully soon.
Yay, thank you. I will be back. Hope to see you here.